means I want to feel and show it that I am in abundance.
Yeah.
But then what happens is sometimes you see the reverse effect.
Yeah.
Then you feel that I am a fool because people are seeing me as a fool.
Correct.
Because I showed the excitement,
Correct.
but it didn't happen that way.
Correct.
So
Correct. You are very
is
right.
it
You bang
is
on.
it good to show the abundanceness in ourselves?
No, I don't know what you mean by being in abundance, but what I can understand from what you're telling is that maybe you take something up and you fail and then people feel that you have failed.
You're a fool.
Fool, right?
You were showing.
Now the problem with our culture and the reason why we are not open to discomfort, one of the things is we are defining ourselves by how others think of us.
लोग क्या करेंगे?
लोग क्या कहेंगे, हाँ. So that is the biggest hitch in this whole process, of being open to joy. Because we are not open to being ridiculed. The more we are open to being ridiculed, the bigger the risk we can take. And the risk for the sake of our joy. We have become a culture wherein, I say that I don't exist if I don't come in the newspaper. You know what that means? If I don't come in the newspaper, I don't exist. This is our culture now. Which means what,
People should know.
I define my presence only if I am known well by others. That's the culture we have become. So if we come from this kind of a premise, what is going to happen?
Live for others.
Precisely. We will always be more bothered, rather than our own joy, we'll be more bothered about how we'll be perceived. Rather than being our own fully courageous, authentic self, we will always be bothered about how people are going to look at us. And this is not an easy one to break, but then there's no other way out.
So we are social animals.
We are social animals, but social animals, Saurabh, doesn't mean that we derive our sense of worth from how people look at us. Okay? Social animal, beautiful question. Social animal simply means that I require the other person, okay, for my well-being, for my sense of connection, for feeling loved and to give love, But for my sense of worth, I don't have to be dependent on anybody. Can I stand by myself whether or not I am approved or rejected?
We have a fear of being left alone or
Precisely.
rejected.
Yes. But the whole thing over here is that if I stand in my worthiness, even if I am rejected, I am surely going to attract enough people in my life, though they will be lesser, but they will be enough for whatever are my social needs. My true friends and family will always be with me, no matter whether I lose or fail. So my social needs are always going to be taken care of. But we don't come from such a space of worthiness that I am okay the way I am, whether or not I am approved or rejected. If we can come from that worthiness, then it doesn't matter, because from our excitement, whatever we do, and even if we fail, and if the other person considers me a fool, then it is his problem, not mine. And that person is nobody to define who I am. I am the only person who should define who I am. And I choose to define myself as total and full and whole and complete, whatever the world considers me to be. If I come from that space, only then I can dive into whatever appears like a risk. Otherwise, risk taking becomes impossible. And there's no growth and no joy without risk taking. Are we getting this point? Yes, Gaurav.
So there is other point, like you should be likable also by others, because you
Yes.
cannot be arrogant, you cannot be rude. So how these two can go together?
They cannot go together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They cannot go together, but okay, sooner or later, the same people who are ridiculing you will turn around and then they will emulate you. They'll put you on a pedestal and they'll worship you. And if they don't worship you openly, at least behind your back they'll talk great things about you.
So if you have the courage to experience that joy, your interpersonal skills will automatically improve and enhance.
अपने में रहो तो दूसरे अपने आप अपने जैसे हो जाते हैं।
हो जाते हैं। ब्यूटीफुल। आपको अपने में रहना है बस। आपको अपने में रहना है। That is the only key. To me, too, that is the whole of spirituality. That is my umbrella vision also. You know, be more of what you are.
Be you, the world will exist.
Correct. You just
How
be
it is
you.
different from self-centeredness? Because
I was just
No, it's beautiful. If you call this self-centeredness, then I will say self-centeredness is also beautiful.
being self.
If this is how you define self-centeredness, I call this being self-oriented. Self-oriented is something else, and self-centeredness is something else.
And what is selfish?
That is the same as self-centered for me.
Okay.
But this is self-orientation.
Okay.
Can you be yourself? No matter what.
But it's a big struggle because
It
I have
is.
been facing
It is
That's
not
the
by you.
discomfort.
Every single person over here has faced this.
Vishaka, that's the discomfort.
And the whole art lies in opening ourselves to this discomfort. In the discomfort of the world calling us a fool, in the discomfort of our own family calling us a fool.
Yes, exactly.
In
Family calls you a fool. You
I-
are showing so much of
correct, correct. That's precisely where all these skills come in. You know, to what extent do you see yourself as worthy, whole, and complete, no matter what? Even if your child or your wife or your father, for matter, ridicule you, but yet can you stand in your worthiness? Every great person has done this. You know, they have stood in their worthiness first, and everything has fallen in place later on. If we are going to live in a way that is defined by the people and dictated by the people around us, it's never going to work out. You could make some small adjustments for others' sake here and there, that is okay. But when it comes to your authentic self, so the whole
It's
skill.
such a dichotomy because we are social animals. We're living in a society.
Yes, it's a dichotomy.
There's so much of.
Yes.
So while I may constantly
Yes.
tell myself that I want to be self-oriented,
Yes.
selfish, self-centered, whatever it
Yes.
is, but I still get bitten by
Yes.
the people around me.
Yes. And I'm not saying it's easy.
It's not.
I'm not saying it's easy. I'm surely not saying it's easy. But I'm also not saying that it's impossible.